All right, welcome everybody. I'm Coach Corey Three-Wing, and this is a recording with a lot of really cool people in the room, specifically from Mind Valley EverCoach Certified Life Coach program, and a whole bunch of us have just graduated with certification. So bravo, right on. And today I want to talk about true choices and orientational choices. And as we get started, there's an intellectual piece of coaching that I think is such a sweet thing to entertain and to play with. And a lot of times I will talk about this as getting your intellect on your team as your number one fan. So as coaches, when we're working with clients, sometimes our own intellect is not on our team. And so I like to talk about the science of transformation, where we talk about like pieces like there's neuroscience, neuroplasticity, epigenetics, and all of these different things about what we know about how we can break habits and build new habits, right? And so today we're talking about true choices and orientational choices. This is a really great way to understand what our thinking mind is doing, our conscious mind is doing. A lot of the ways that we form our sentences and our beliefs are coming from our unconscious mind, which are our unconscious mind's number one job is to keep us safe. That's what it's doing, right? And so it's a little bit of a dance and a relationship between our conscious mind and our unconscious mind. So a true choice, I want to start right there. A true choice is a choice that is made only because you love it. No other explanation, no definition, no defining it, no defending it. It's just a choice because you love it. So as we work in this world of coaching, and when we're working with clients and we think, okay, what are we doing here together? What is our goal? Or what is our end result? And then what is the emotion of the end result? And we start shaping a program or a journey for our clients around these goals or these end results. And one of the ways to get there in an efficient and feel-good way is to make sure that choices made around that end result or that goal are coming from that definition of a true choice, because it is all about love. It's all about living a life you love, really raising the bar on stepping in and choosing those emotions of joy, gratitude, bliss, and to be in those emotions, and then to create our future from that place. Now, I think if I were to boil down a definition of what the coaching process does into one sentence, it's where we switchcraft with an S, switchcraft from reacting to our past to creating our future. And so sometimes when we are reacting to the past, we have an orientational choice based in fear or lack or defensiveness. And then we create around that choice. Or we can switchcraft to a place of abundance and bliss and joy and make the same decision, and we'll notice that we will choose our words and our thoughts very differently. So there's just a little introduction about what a true choice is. So today, as we get into what true choices are, we're going to talk about the core 4 true choices, the cornerstones of choice, which are a level foundation, right? And so true choice definitions, right? They're purely inspirational. A true choice is a choice, something that you choose to manifest. It's something you want to create because you want to, because it makes you feel good. It would make you happy. A true choice is not really a goal, a wish, or a dream. It's just a choice. It's a choice. We actually make the choice, right? So then that choice is with that end result, that final goal, that end result with it in focus, right? We know where we're going. And what I mean by in focus is that when we have a goal and we visit that goal and we harvest those beautiful details of what it will be like when it comes true. Like when we try on that new jacket and those new shoes of the future, ourselves a year ahead, 3 years ahead, and we start imagining our new life as a coach, our new, whatever it is the end result is, that new job, the new money, the new relationship, the new house, the new career, whatever those things are that you're creating for yourself. That end result is clear and in focus, and it's made from love. So there's that choice made with the emotion of the end result. When we see it so clearly, when we see it so very clearly, then it's easy to imagine that we can imagine that that dream has come true, and then we can feel the emotions in the future of what it would be like when it comes true, and we harvest that. So once again, true choices are made just because you love it, right? And so we all want to make these choices that resonate with our heart and our soul because it feels good, because it feels good. We want to find and make choices that really reflect who we are and what we want to share with the world. So when it comes to choosing what we want to create, what is it that is true in your heart and soul? What is it that makes you feel good? Just because you love it? What gives you goosebumps and butterflies in your tummy at the same time? That true choice, because you love it. Just because it inspires you and nothing else. Nothing else is included. Nothing else attached. It is just purely inspiration. Being 100% happy with what it is that you're wanting, right? And the truth is, we are absolutely not trained and not at all educated to make true choices. So this may be new. This idea may be new, right? And for the most part, our parents weren't taught this, our grandparents weren't taught this. So it's kind of amazing that we get to learn this and stand up into the power of our true choices and feel the effect of it. And then watch that energy ripple through not only our own lives, but our inner circle, our outer circle, and then the world, right? So sometimes, when we're making choices about our dreams and our goals and our end results, sometimes we make a lot of progress and sometimes we don't. So when you look at progress that you are making with the choices that you've made, like, are you getting there? Is it happening? Is it flowing? Right? Or are you going back and forth? Like sometimes it's flowing and then sometimes not so much. Sometimes it's flowing with the river and sometimes it's pushing a boulder up a hill. Sometimes it's just stopped. Sometimes we get like really inspired with what's going on, new ideas, new motivation, and new momentum. And we really want to just go with that something, right? And then an inner dialogue, our self-talk starts to happen. Like, hey, that new great idea, that new coaching practice, that new class you just took, it's all fine, great, good, and dandy. Yeah, but then the doubt, the self-sabotage, the lack, the failure, all of a sudden we don't quite get there. That all of a sudden we find ourselves there again. Show me by a little show of hands, everybody. Have you had a chance in your life when you've set out on something really great, you were super excited about, and then the yeah, but syndrome kicked in and slowed you down and stopped you in your tracks, right? And then you lose that momentum. And then it's hard to get that momentum up and running again. And sometimes we just give up and we try something else altogether, right? Exactly. That self-talk inside of us, that oscillating behavior, right? That self-talk. So sometimes we start or switch from, I love this, and then it goes to, well, that is a little more reasonable, maybe this or that, maybe a little less of that. Then maybe it shifts into something like, well, maybe that's actually more for somebody else. That's not really for me. Or maybe we need to get approval first. Like, oh, my spouse or my boss or my family may not like this. Oh, I don't know, doubt. Even though I might love that. I might really love that. But ooh, I don't know. I just don't know. Right? Setting up for oscillation and being stuck. We set out on this new idea, then get yanked back by the yeah, but syndrome, which means that we were in flow for a moment. And then we get yanked out of flow. We're in flow and then not at flow. When we're in flow, we're feeling really good about these things, about a possibility of a choice made in love. Flow happens. But then all of a sudden we pop out of flow because of self-doubt. Or maybe that choice was not a real true choice. Maybe that choice was not made from the center of your heart. Maybe it was made from another place. We made it so it was too easy to stop. Now, the good news about true choices is when they are your true choices and you really step into them, man, there is excitement, there is jet fuel, there is momentum, and then there is courage and confidence that comes with that. So it's important to take a look at our choices, the big ones and the small ones, and we see if we can find those little attachments and those little add-ons, those little limitations that turn that choice into a choice that's ineffective, right? So ineffective choices, right? So the beginning of being able to manifest your thoughts into reality starts with the choices that we make. Like, so often we talk about like, hey, I'm going to turn a thought into a thing, right? I'm going to get this idea, and then I'm going to follow the law of attraction and the law of resonance, and I'm going to do my affirmations, and I'm going to just pray about it and do the thing and think about it all the time. But maybe sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes that doesn't happen. We have the really good intentions, but we get stuck, or we wonder why it's not working, and we think, I must be broken. Something's wrong with me. Other people are doing this. I'm watching the videos. I'm watching Abraham Hicks. I'm doing all the stuff, and it's happening for them, but not for me. What's going on here? Right. So this starts by understanding the difference between true end results and ineffective choices. Right. We want to start with something that we truly desire, that we want to have, just because you love it. You want to start there for sure. And if you need more than one reason to have it, it may not be a true choice, right? If I have to make a choice because it's going to make my spouse happy, and it's going to give me this, and it's going to do that, and it's going to solve a problem, and it's going to fix a thing. Maybe that's a lower choice. Maybe that's a secondary or a third choice, not the true choice at the top, right? So there's only really one answer to know if it's a true choice or not. Once again, it's because you love it. Just because you love it. So if there's another answer, it's typically because it's about one of the 8 ways that we create ineffective choices. And we're going to talk about all 8 of these ineffective choice behaviors, modules, beliefs, right? So and these are attached to the orientation toward one of the sabotaging identities. And we're going to talk about that too. Like when we don't feel like we're not going to have it, I don't get to, I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it, I'm not perfect, some of these things. An ineffective choice doesn't get to us in the emotion of the end result, right? When we make that true choice and we imagine the emotion of the end result, how good it's going to feel, how you can step in and imagine it as if right now, right? Then the yeah buts are a good thing, that yeah but syndrome, because what that does is it reveals, like a curtain being pulled back, what is your resistance? What is the hesitation? What is the limitation to that dream coming true? Now, this is great as coaches. If we can figure out what the end result is and how good it's going to feel and reveal the hesitation, the limitation, and what's in the way, boom, we've got something to work on. Boom, we can target it. Boom, we can get in and do the work and remove that hesitation and limitation. And a lot of that sometimes is just understanding if the choices were made ineffectively or effectively. We're going to jump into that. So we want to start here. Understanding that end result is an end, but it's also a new beginning, right? That end result or that goal being finished, it is a completion, and it implies that new beginning, that new place to create again, right? To dream again, to continue being the creator that we're all here to be. That completion or the end result is that value and that feeling, that completion, that goal getting done, that brings pride, that brings excitement, that brings completion. That completion, then all of a sudden we are proud. And what does that do? That unlocks the door to create again. So it gets contagious. So we have some high motivation here to figure out the resistance, hesitation, limitation, and get rid of it, so that we can create and actually arrive at living that life that we love. So once we get into that true end result, we make choices based off that end result, we can move forward. Yeah, we can move forward. Yeah, Joanne, you got your hand up.
I just want to give you an example, something that came up this week for me. I had a conversation with my
Awesome.
brother, and
Mhm.
something like that, like true choices. And I have a brother that's, and some of you may have heard, he's bipolar. He has a lot of mental health concerns. And his own son just graduated from high school. And it was quite interesting talking to him because I said, so how's he doing? And he was telling me that he's thinking of going to school, and I had just said to him, I said, so like what are his big dreams? Like what does he want? Because I mean, when you're 17, those are your big dreams, and there's kind of not a lot of blocks yet, in
Yeah,
your life.
right. Yep.
There's usually
Mhm.
like that's the true intuition,
Mhm.
acting, right? Is when you're younger, right? And then there's all the adults that talk around you that say, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, and that's where this is starting, so he said, well, he wants to be an actor, and he says it to me like that, and he says, but I was talking to him about it, and I said, hey, that's probably what he wants to be, and it's okay, do not, you know I almost like, do not tell him that's not okay, because even my brother, when he was younger, the father wanted to get into acting, and did
Oh,
some of that avenue. And I look at it and I think, oh my gosh, here's the son, of the same child, wanting the same thing, and being told, yeah, but. So I just wanted to give that example, and trying to talk to my brother to say, do not stop him. You know,
uh-huh.
that's his passion. That's the true passion. He's still young. And even if he goes that route and doesn't make it, that's his failing forward. That's going to lead him to where he needs to get to. Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
True
I wanted to
choices.
share that.
Yeah. So like acting in theater, what an amazing true choice. I want to be with beauty. I want to make art. I want to create something that the audience leaps out of its feet and applauses at the end and feels so good about that thing. Right. True choices. Yeah. Team Ming.
I just wanted to really share an experience about like when you are exploring new areas, sometimes it's just more of a feeling you get, oh, this is an area that I would like to explore more. But sometimes it's like comes down to the specific program, because the specific person leading the program and the timing that you also have to feel good about, because sometimes this feeling is like, yes, 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 but maybe that's not the right person. Maybe that's not the right time for you. So it's kind of breaking it down to more of just like a feeling, do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I've chased a lot of things like shiny object syndrome here. We covered it already.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more of like just kind of, refining that guidance, that inner guidance as to actually what it is, because things come to us like themes, like there may be like themes of like, for me, be communication with all of life and beyond. And then this thing starts to look interesting, remote viewing, this and that. It's like, is it the right program? Is it the right time? Is it the right mentor? Right? Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. Yeah.
Well, right on, right on. And we are making choices, about attraction. Like, what are we attracted to? Not just people, but ideas, concepts, courses, learnings, ideas, books, authors, heroes, whatever that attraction is, that brings up issues of our heart, right? And our creativity and our intimacy and our sensuality, those are all such pieces of beauty in our heart, issues of love. I love that. Ooh, and I love that. And I really love that. Right. And I can see that other people in the world, as we harvest our mentors and our heroes and authors, people we want to be like and why. It's like, oh yeah, I love that. I want to be like that when I grow up, and I want to do those things. Right. So true choices. Anybody else have any resonating or ideas, comments around what I'm talking about? The power of a true choice, one made only because you love it. You love it, love it, love it. And the motivation that it creates in you. Yeah, Debbie.
Yeah, definitely. This is a great topic. And I think about my true choice to leave corporate. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
Definitely a true choice. And I could see myself every day being an entrepreneur, doing my thing. And it was a little scary, but one thing I can say is that as you meditate on that, like you said, you can meditate on it. Sometimes it's effective, sometimes it's not. But as you educate yourself around, like, what are the obstacles? What are the things that make you doubt that you think you may not get there? That you start creating that roadmap, because I knew that I wanted to have 12 months of living expenses, because I knew I could not be creative if I was wondering, like, how I'm going to take care of stuff, or where, if I'm going to be able to match my salary. So started that saving, and every month I saw I was closer to my goal. It made me feel like this is really happening. So as you take those steps, and like as you said, once you get to that point where, okay, I'm out of the 9 to 5, I am an entrepreneur. Once you reach that first goal, then there's that next goal, because now you're here. Now you're an entrepreneur, and you want to be a successful entrepreneur. What does that look like? Where do clients come from? How do I structure my business? So there's all these new goals that keep coming, and you have to keep making choices that I'm going to step forward, and I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to learn what I have to learn and do what I have to do, whether I'm scared, whether I don't know how to do it. I'm going to find the resources. I'm going to do what I have to do to make this happen, because I love it and I want to create this life for myself. So there's choices every single day. Even when you get up, the first thing I do, besides giving thanks for another day, I choose joy. I choose, what my day is going to look like. So the choices will never stop. And I think they're less ineffective if you keep it real and you really do the work, because faith without works is dead. And I find that every step I take, doors of opportunity open. Every step I take, doors of opportunity open.
Yeah.
That's huge for me. And I think it's huge for everybody on this call, because until you can't think about it, when you speak up with your voice shaking, when you move forward, even though you feel scared, the doors will open. People will see you. People can't see you or hear your voice if you don't speak up or step out. So keep moving, keep pushing. It's possible.
Right. Exactly. So, and I love that example, Debbie, about, like, I'm going to leave corporate because you knew what you didn't like, but you loved. I know this about our conversation, so I'm sort of putting a few words in your mouth, but I know this because of our time together, is that the choice to leave corporate is as bumpy and dark as that shadow world can be, and is turning around the other direction to say, I'm making a choice to raise the bar on the quality of my own life, to be creative, to make money, to increase and improve my relationship with how I make money and how I am in my every single day. I'm going to take that shadow out of the equation and replace it with light. And the more we do that, the bigger it gets, right? So true choices, there's 4, if you're having a hard time understanding where to start with your own true choices, there's 4 of them. And then these are like the 4 core orientational true choices. And the first one is you make the choice to live a life you love. Now write that down. Write these 4 things down. These 4 core orientational choices, true choices. The first one is you make the choice to live a life you love. Now, how do you do that? Well, you start writing, you answer the question, what does it mean to live a life I love? What would that mean? And so many of us haven't done this amazing homework to really write some more and write even more, like with morning pages or your journaling, is to really answer this question again and again and again. And then to put the answers of this on your fridge, on the bathroom mirror, on your car, in your wallet. You give yourself triggers and reminders about what it is to live a life you love. Now, those of us who've done the 3 MIQs, the 3 most important questions, this is another great way to harvest living a life you love, right? So we start collecting that information. We call in the role of the scribe to say, harvest this information and make it available, make that information available to me, especially when I get zapped back into the yeah buts, when I get zapped back into self-sabotage and lack. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, there's that reminder. That's the life I love. And yep, that feels good. And there it is. There's the rope to pull yourself out of the mud. There it is. Okay, so the second one, the second orientational choice, true choice, is you choose health and vitality. You choose health, right? And you choose vitality. So your health, so important, because you can't, without your health, what are you going to do in this world? How are you going to get by in this world? Your emotional health, your spiritual health, your physical health, your mental health, all of these layers of being a healthy person. And then vitality. I love this word. I choose vitality. I choose to be vital. I choose to be essential. I choose to be an absolute in my world. I choose to be an absolute in my world. I choose to be vital, alive, pumping, breathing, vibrating. I choose that. Right? Another one, the third one here is you choose to be, and know your true nature and purpose. And if you don't know your true nature and purpose, this is when we find out. If you've done the work to answer the question of what it is to live a life you love, and you also do the work of knowing what makes you healthy, what makes you vibrate, what makes you alive and vital, then you're going to start to know what your unique signature gift is for the world. Now, as coaches, why did you come to being a coach? What is your unique signature secret sauce as a coach? What kind of a coach are you? What is the secret thing that you are here to do? What is the way that only you can leave this world better than we all found it? Because we all can do it in our own way. So your true nature and your true purpose in life. And you'll know that you're in and tapping into your true nature and purpose because you'll feel your inner well filling up and overflowing. That's when you know. Those are the clues, the proof that your well is filling is when you're tapped into your true nature, what you're naturally good at, or what naturally makes you feel good. And your purpose. Where are you in service? Where are you giving your gifts because you've got them to give? So there's that third orientational choice, true choice of to choose true nature and purpose. Now the fourth one, now this one's so great and it's so important, is you choose to be the predominant creator of your life. Now the funny thing is we are that already. We are manifesting what we think about with every breath we take. But most of the time of our lives and our history, we've been reacting to the past. We've been hanging out in the yeah, but syndrome. We've been trying to prove to ourselves and the world why our life is hard with all of the self-sabotaging identities until we stop doing that. And we take our power back. And then we start creating from a place of love. And when we create from a place of love and we actually choose that goal based in love, we achieve that goal based in love, we experience even more love. And what do? We create again and again, and we create some more, and we create bigger and more, and bigger and more. When we stop reacting to the past, we create the future. It's kind of one or the other. It's hard to do both. So there's the 4 orientational choices of true choices. To live a life I love, I choose health and vitality. I choose my true nature and purpose. I choose to know it and be it. And I choose to be the predominant creator of my life. So we have those first 4 choices that orientate us. We're shifting our orientation into a new way of being, creating from a place of love. Now, here's the power of those 4 true choices. If you orient in the problem-solving reality, you look at what needs to be solved or what needs to be fixed. And here you are trying to resolve your identity, so you must orientate yourselves to a new way of being, right? You need to be a creator, not a reactor, right? Does that make sense? Is that sitting well with you? Give me some hands. You getting it? Yeah. So the first of those choices, we live that life of love. This is a place of total acceptance and appreciation of your life so far. And it's a choice to live in love and joy as a priority. That's what that means. That second orientational choice of health and vitality. I choose that health and vitality. Without having vitality, you are not here. So it is necessary to orient towards that health and vitality. because that's what gets us going. That's the energy, our life force, our breathing, our circulatory system, our ability to be alive. That true nature of purpose. What are you here to do? What gifts are you here to give? What feels so good that it has your attention most of the time? True nature and purpose, your well-being filled. And then that once again, predominant creator of your world. I know I repeat things a lot, but there's power in repetition. So what is that? Let's establish an understanding that your power is not dependent on external realities. Your power comes from within. It always comes from inside you. It begins or perhaps returns with that affirmation of that internal reality. What do you believe to be true? What do you believe about yourself? Right? You are powerful because you choose to be a causative force in your own experience. You are powerful because you choose to be an individual who has an impact on this world without asking anyone or anything for permission, right? You are powerful because it is a state of mind. So embracing that you are indeed that predominant creator of your life is a massive taking of your power back from where you gave it. Because when we're little, we give our power away. Self-sabotage, we try to understand our suffering, we give our power away. And in our healing, or in our insight, in our wake up, when we become enlightened, we realize we've never been without our power, but we take it back. So being the predominant creator means that you are at the helm, you are the captain of your ship, and you get to create that life that you truly love. So that fourth orientational choice of being the predominant creator means that you are turning the key in the ignition of your cosmic vehicle to create that life you love. You're turning it on. You are in the helm. You're the captain. You make the decisions. So that's why these four decisions, these are the ones that come first, right? So we can all start by working on these four things so that you can get them in your head, get them in your field, get them in your lenses, get them in your morning routine, get them in your prayers, get them in the sixth phase of your sixth phase meditation to say, I am doing the work of asking for my four true orientational choices. Questions, comments about the four orientational choices? Yeah, Tasma. You're on mute, my dear. Oh, she's going to get to us. All right, as Tasma figures that out for a moment, Debbie, you've got your hand up. We'll come back to Tasma.
Yeah, good stuff. One thing I failed to mention earlier is that when you make these true choices, and I didn't realize when I was doing it, I figured I was just going for what I wanted in life, but I realized that as a result, there are beautiful results to making these true choices, because I became so much more self-aware. What do I really want? Self-love. I fell in love with myself because I had so much respect for myself, because I showed up for myself. I did what I said I was going to do, and everything I accomplished, I don't care if it was saving up, I don't care if it was, learning what I needed to learn, getting into the nitty gritty and making the sacrifices that I needed to be able to do things that I couldn't do otherwise. Whatever it was, I promised myself I was going to do things to make this thing a reality, and I did it. And when I did it, every step, I'm like, damn, Deborah, you did that. Look at you, you know what I mean? And I don't think we do that enough. And especially as entrepreneurs, nobody's gonna come like in corporate. I used to get all these awards and it was great and all these accolades. When you're an entrepreneur, there's nobody but you. It's like, you gotta say, hey, you did that, So let's not forget that. Even starting with this certification, we graduated. It's not like, oh God, I graduated, now I gotta start a business and find clients. Like, no, we did it, stop, take a moment. I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret, because y'all like family. Me and Lana, we spun around. We held hands and spun around in a circle and we screamed, well, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was spinning. We were dizzy. We were cracking up. But yeah, that's what we did. And you have to do that for yourself. So as a result of it, even just like eating healthier, then I ended up being vegan. I was on prescribed medications. I take 0 prescribed medications now. And I did not know that was going to happen. I didn't say I'm going to eat healthy because I want to be vegan. I just got on a journey to eat more greens, to be more plant-based. Then I loved it. I became vegan. And then I started going to my doctors and they're like, there's no need for you to take this any longer. And when I tell you, I started from several and now I take 0 prescribed medications. Who knew? But again, there are great results and rewards that come with making these true choices. I just want to throw that little caveat in there.
Absolutely. Thank you, Deborah. That's exactly what I'm asking about. Yeah. Teaming.
Yeah, I really like Debbie saying also to celebrate progress in a way, like we need to celebrate ourselves. And another thing is about, actually, I have this thing about taking care of my body. It's only when I actually feel like my body and I are in partnership together in this lifetime that I was like choosing to make choices that are good, like exercising in the morning, because, well, I just want to honor my body, you know, my body and I are best friends, basically. So it's coming to that kind of viewpoint. Yeah. So hopefully
Yeah,
that
totally.
is helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, teammate. Tasma.
Okay. I like the be a creator, not to be a reactor. As a parent, I had a lot of stresses and in my personal life, and my children were like just driving me crazy. And I hated the way I was. I hated the fact that I was always reacting to them, like, you know, shouting at them and stuff like that. And one day somebody told me, they said, you need to stop and think and try and be an actor than a reactor. And so that you, when you know they do something, stop for a minute and take a second to think and say to yourself, what do you want to do in this situation? What do you want to say in this situation? If you don't want to be shouting all the time. And they also suggested that I have a little something on me to remember to do that. And I slipped a little chain underneath my ring. And so it was there all the time. And so every time a situation like this would come up, I'd feel that chain and then I'd just calm down. Instead of shutting my head off, I would just then deal with the situation in a calm manner and get them to stop. So that really resonated with me. And the other one was the power that comes from within and not from all around you. And that power was a state of mind, and don't give it away. My sister, God bless her, is a very powerful woman. She's in control all the time. And she's a negotiator. And so, you know, she needs that for her abilities to do her job. But she always has done that my whole life. She's always controlled me. She always told me that that won't work. Who would buy that, you know, on me? And it's just been recently, and it's terrible to say that it's only been recently, that I've just stood up for her. And I've just become like myself, and I don't care what she thinks. And I do what I want to do regardless, you know. So in a sense, I've taken that power and control back, and that feels really good, you know. And in my coaching that I'd like to do with women, that's a big deal. Power, the power struggle that we have in many of our relationships, you know.
Yes.
And I really see that is a great big deal.
Yeah.
Power.
Right. You're right, Tasma. Absolutely. And I think that's so much of what the coaching journey is about, is when we remove hesitation and resistance and limitation, what are we doing? We're taking our power back. That's
Yeah.
what we're doing. Yeah. Thank you,
Even
Tasma.
from my sons, even when my sons try and tell me what to do.
Right.
I said, you haven't lived my life. I'll do it my way.
Welcome home, Tasma. Welcome home. I'm so glad. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Lilia.
Well, great. Everything's so good to hear about, especially because, are you, yes.
No, you're good. We hear you.
Okay. Especially because, and I think I was telling this to you, Corey, I've been reading the book from Joe Dispenza, and I was wondering, why is it that I never had heard about this guy? Never. And it's because, again, we live in this world, and the environment that surrounds us is the environment that decide what is our path, and we follow. And when suddenly we start encountering people like Mind Valley people, like all of you, and we start doing all these quests, and then we become coaches, is when we start realizing, hey, where had I been? What have I done? Why is all these things? And the self-awareness come around. And with the self-awareness come around the growth. And it's me recognizing, that's why the frustration takes me to the anger, takes me to my 2 days that I don't wanted to talk, and then take me to this sensation. So how am I gonna program again the whole thing? And I start with awareness, then I can switch to joy, then I can switch to relax, I can let it go, and I can be as good as I want.
Right.
So it's so unique that right now we are talking about all this together, because our lives, whatever we have done up until now, that in a way, we were here in this universe to do it. Right now, we have the choice of empowerment of ourselves to be and to choose, as Tassin said, within ourselves, with what is that we're going to start doing without removing the awareness that this surrounding that we have is so powerful that wants to remind us something that is normal for us. So when we go to the critical mind, that's what the environment around us is reminding us, hey, but you are here, you belong to us. No, not anymore, because now we have a choice, and we made a choice. Thank you.
Yeah, Lily, oh my gosh, thank you for that. Absolutely. Yeah. I want to give a quick shout out to Sean. Hi, buddy. Thanks for coming. Zan, I see you popped in as well. Welcome. We're talking about true choices and orientational choices. And so welcome. So glad to have you here with us. Yeah, Alana.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Corey. Yeah, absolutely love this conversation. Love the 4 true orientational choices. I definitely, it just resonates with me very much so, because when we're talking about like making the choice to live a life that you love, like, and really just being the predominant creator of your life, like, and standing in that power and owning your power, it's like you really give other people, it's like they see it on you, you know, you glow, everybody's like, well, what's so different? Like, you know, mom was talking about going vegan, and I realized that, you know, like when I decided to go vegan, like I decided to tell my whole family, like, so that they knew, like, we did Sunday dinners. I loved eating our traditional Bayesian food. I ate meat. So I was like, I'm going vegan, and this, you know, I won't be eating meat. I won't be eating dairy. I won't be eating eggs, anything with cheese, so that they knew. So I created my boundary and made it known so that everybody else knew. And because I was making that choice from a place that I knew I wanted that health and vitality, and it was a choice that I knew that, like, I would be making from a place of love and joy for myself, like she said, just honoring your body, because it's the only one you have in this life. Then it was kind of like, I'm sure some of my family were probably like, she is not going to do this. She is not going to stick to it, you know? But then when they realize, like, 1 month goes by, 2 months goes by, a year goes by, 2 years go by, like, oh my gosh, she's really doing it. And then they see you looking better. They see you being more open and mindful. And it's like when your mind is clearer, then and you're making those choices that you are making out of pure joy, it opens you to different things that you may not have even realized or been open to. And then other people are like, dang, well, if she can do it, I'm sure I can do it. Well, what are some things that I would like to do that I feel I kind of need to stand in my power? Maybe I've just been going with the flow for too long, and maybe I need to be the creator of the flow. Maybe I need to be the one that decides where the flow goes. So that really is just like, it's such a great feeling. And yeah, so I just wanted to say that. So for sure, like when mom went vegan, it was like, what? Like it was wonderful. So, and then so many excellent things came out of that. So absolutely, definitely, these 4 orientational choices are amazing.
Oh, there we go. Right on, Alana. Thank you for that offering and that share. Absolutely, because the power of true choices, you know, especially when we create from that place of love and achieve it, and then we create from love in a bigger way, and it's contagious, and the ripple goes so far out into the universe. Yeah, Vanessa, then Fabio.
Okay, yeah, true choices. This is a wonderful topic. This course has helped me with my family and specifically my children, how I'm relating to them. They're young adults now. And so I think growing up, it was more, I have to be right, not happy. Like, listen to your mom because I said so. Disciplinarian family for sure. Military father. I mean, both kids were happy to go away to school. They're like, bye, we're out of here. We had a lot of tight boundaries around that. It was all intentionally, of course, because we love them and want the best for them. And our daughter's off in the world, making her money, graduated college. Our son, these are the questions I'm kind of exploring with him now. He's 21 now, but when he left for college and tried college, I mean, he had football scholarships. He was like a star athlete. We thought he was, my mom's like, NFL. She's been talking NFL in his life forever. And then, you know, the talk came like, I think I'm burned out from sports. I don't want to do that anymore. And that was like our whole world was around this and building him up. Every sport he would do, he excelled at the top. So we just assumed this is your gift. This is what you're doing. Tried the college thing, then COVID passed. So it's been a lot more raising them judgmental. I've learned now my fixed mindset, my upbringing. And now it's blossoming into like, are you happy? Like every call with him, like he wouldn't want to talk on the phone because it always went into like, what are you doing with your life? You're 21, figured out. Your dad figured out at 16. I mean, you know, that's not helping anything. That's
Right,
so these are great questions to use. And look what happened with Alana and her mom. Like we learn from our children.
Mhm.
So as I'm going through this course, it's like I've softened how I approach things now. And now my son, you know, he can come to visit sometimes and it doesn't feel like it's just going to be a session on what are you doing with your life. You know, we go to visit him in Idaho and it's not my life. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's on an air mattress sharing a bedroom with somebody. This is horrible. Like, oh my gosh, how's he making progress? And then people remind me, he's living on his own. He's not asking you for money. He doesn't even have a car. 2 years, he's working 2 jobs, getting around with scooters and skateboards and rides, figuring it out. And I'm like, yeah, I need to be proud of that. It's not the path I thought originally. And now I'm just like owning it of like, how are you? Are you happy? Like every time, are you happy with your life? Are you happy with what you're doing? Yeah, I'm happy, mom. Okay. And a lot more Zooming calls. You know, we Zoom with each other. We Zoom with 600 strangers we don't know on Mind Valley. And I had a discussion with someone else once, like, oh, you and your brother, wow, a lot of talking. Do you live close by? I'm like, yeah, that's just all by text. And then I realized, gosh, why don't I Zoom with my own family? So I set up family appointments now to Zoom. Well, with my mom, we do WhatsApp. The kids, it's a little harder. My daughter calls from the road, driving from work, you know, and our son, like, why do you need to see me? I need to see your face. But that Zoom and the visual, like you can get with your family. But yeah, the true north points, like this is applicable, like even with our families. We plant seeds, they're watching, and it's all good. It's all evolving for better development for everybody.
Right. So Vanessa, I love that, you know, in honoring like what we do is becoming certified coaches with Mind Valley, that all of us are realizing that that ripple is changing the quality of our lives. Right. And then the power of true choices, it takes that and raises the bar so high, you know, and that's what we're talking about today. Yeah. Fabio.
Yes. I'm not sure if what I'm sharing right now is true choices, but I feel like in this moment, I got this feeling that I want to quit my job, and I feel so scared about that. But at the same time, it feels like that it's not taking anywhere that I want to go. So it's probably one of the choices that I want to make, and that's rational part of my brain that says, "So what are you gonna do next?" I mean,
Right. Right.
will you be able to survive without a job, without an income coming in? So
Right. So what I'd say, Fabio, is that the choice to quit your job is not a true choice. The reason why you want to quit your job, now we're talking. Like how is it going to give your heart the gift it desires? What's the quality of life that quitting your job will create? When we focus on quitting the job, that's an orientational choice of what you're running away from, not what you're creating or running toward.
okay.
So, right. So then your true choice would be, what is the quality of your life without that job? What would that be? What's the gift you're going to receive when you no longer have to do that? Right. And the quality of life, who you're becoming, the man you're choosing to be, you know, the energy and the emotions that are harvested without that job in your everyday. You get to, you know, you don't have to put up the force field. You don't have to go to the old job and put up with the emotions and the other people and all that stuff and the draining, and then they have to recharge and rest and restore from the job. Okay, great. If you don't have to do any of that, what are you doing? What do you get to do? If you're harvesting your emotions, I want to feel good. I want to be inspired. I want to make choices in love. What does it mean to live a life I love? What does it mean to be healthy and vital? What does it mean to serve my true nature, to be in the gift that I'm here to give? You know, so now coming at it from that point of view, that's the foundation of the true choice, right? But just quitting a job, that's an orientational choice of an away mindset. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Anything else about that?
It's hard to tell. I mean, I'm still not sure what I'm looking for, or
That's okay.
what I'm running away from. I mean, probably.
Okay. Right.
So yeah.
Mhm. Right. Okay.
Probably
Well,
I want to create a better life for me.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, absolutely. And so now it's time to understand and choose and create the menu of what that better life is. Those are choices based in life, in love. What is that better life? We're going to wake up feeling good and joyful and happy every day. Yeah. So listen, I want to move on. I want to jump on a little bit. I've got some more content to cover, and we've got about a half an hour left. So I want to jump forward. Pam, do you want to jump in real quick?
No, that's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So these 4 orientational choices, I often call these the corners, like the foundational cornerstones of your cosmic house. Like, and what I mean by your cosmic house, that's your life. That's you, your consciousness, your life, your waking moments, your sleep moments, everything about you. You know, the world as you experience it as a human on earth, your cosmic house. So these, a life you love, you know, true nature and purpose, you know, health and vitality, and owning the creator. If that is the foundation, the 4 corners of your cosmic house, and you spend equal time in all 4 of those corners, then you create a level foundation. Because if you're going to build a house, you build a level foundation so it doesn't fall down, right? So you want to spend time to balance all 4 pieces of the orientational choices. Because the next 4, the primary choices, are what I call the 4 F's, or the 4 columns of your cosmic house, right? So if now each one of these 4 columns gets put on top of these 4 corners to hold up your cosmic roof where you're going to hang out. Now these next primary choices, you know, or the 4 F's, are your physical fitness. Well, it's fitness, family, fulfillment, and finance. The 4 F's. So we're going to start with fitness. Right now, you're making true choices around your fitness. Now, fitness is in 4 parts, or maybe more, but I think the basic 4 of your fitness are physical fitness, your relationship with your body, and it's your emotional fitness, your emotional intelligence, your ability to choose your emotions and to experience them. And it's your mental fitness. How well do you think? How well do you process information? How well do you learn and receive information? How well do you stand in your truth and speak your truth to power? Your intellect. And then the 4th one is your spiritual fitness, whatever that is for you, your connection to your higher self, a higher power, you know, or science, or whatever that is for you, you know, but that inner being, that inner light. So we want to make choices based in love, true choices. We want to take that, all those values from the orientational choices and put them into these primary choices around what would you love about your physical body? What would you just love about your capability of being emotional? What would you just love about your mental fitness, your ability to think and process? And what would you just love about your relationship with your higher power? What would you just love? What would just make you so happy about that? And then the second pillar, or the second F, is your family or your tribe. And it's not just your blood family, it's also your chosen family, your inner circle. You know, and so who do you learn from? Who do you work with and teach? Who is mirroring your growth and inspiration? What would you just love to create with your family? What would you just love to create with your tribe? How would you love to be with them? How would you love to have them be with you? What are your values around your family? Yeah. And that 3rd one is fulfillment. You actually choose true choices around fulfillment. Where is the proof that your well is filling? How do you know? How do you know when your well is filling? How do you know when your well is getting a little bit too low, where you need to install that amazingly, beautifully crafted boundary to say, I'm going to return to rest and restoration and refill my well so that I can continue to give? Where's the proof of your fulfillment? What does fulfillment mean to you? How do you know that you're being fulfilled? You know, so like maybe the opposite of fulfillment would be hunger, starvation, craving, need. I need something. When we're fulfilled, we don't crave anything. We're not hungry. We don't crave anything. We're fulfilled. We're content. And when we create from a place of content and from love, it's limitless. When we create from a place of lack, we're problem solving, and that's all we do. It's solve the problem. Right. So then that 4th F, finances. What would you just love about your new relationship with money? What would you just love? A choice of the quality of that relationship with that silent roommate called money. I love to call money the silent roommate, because we all live with that roommate, money. How would you love to be with money? How would you love money to be with you? How would you love money to teach you what it knows? How would you love to receive the wisdom of money? Now, once again, these 4 F's, you know, your fitness, your family, your fulfillment, and your finances, also in balance with each other on top of the core foundational choices. Right? So as we're making choices based in love on all 8 of these pieces of our lives, and we fill them with love. We fill them with love, right? There it is. So there's the orientational choices and the primary choices. Now the secondary choices are the details, the ornament, the decoration, the flavor, the mood lighting, the deliciousness, your unique signature, things that are your taste, your favorite color, your favorite texture, your favorite foods, your favorite. I love this fabric. I love these plants. I love these flowers. I love these wood floors. I love this color. I love this texture. I love this material. I just love these things. I just love all these beautiful, beautiful things. I like to put these things together in this way, in this order. Now we're talking about art, design, and beauty. We're talking about the feminine power of beauty, intimacy, sensuality, on top of the masculine power of being inside the mission of what you're here to do. Right? So those orientational choices, the primary choices are the 4 F's, the 4 columns, and now the secondary choices. How do you make it yours? How do you make it so beautiful, so meaningful, so delightful, so delicious, so wonderful? Once again, raising the bar in love. Now imagine, you can imagine with this, what we've just talked about today, you're 3 years ahead in the future, just like with Vision Imagine asking us to do, that quantum jump to the future, that segment intending to the future, all of these choices based in a high level of your own unique signature of what you absolutely adore. Not just love, you adore it. You vibrate with it. It's so amazing, it's so beautiful. So, right? So there's this hierarchy here of the orientational choices, the primary choices, the secondary choices. Now this creates this amazing cosmic house in which you are now existing. So you orient yourself towards your core choices. And then you make those primary choices, and then you decorate with your secondary choices. Now this is that amazing state that we can be in, right? It means, and it can be flowing, which means that it is moving or it is in its momentum. We return to these images, these ideas, these pictures, these concepts, this high level of dreaming our future, making those future memories. And it's even easier to imagine them as if they're already true, and then so easy to step into the emotion of the end result and to experience it as if it's already here. Now, what is the jet fuel of manifestation? It is the emotion of the end result, right? The jet fuel of manifestation is to step into that end result emotion as if it is already here, and that sends the message to source, universe, higher power, whatever that is for you, to say, that's what I want. If we're all manifesting what we think about, what an amazing way to speed up the very thing that you want to manifest, is to love it gigantically. To love it with everything you've got, right? So this is the opposite of being stuck. This is the opposite of the yeah, buts, and yeah, I don't know, yeah, but maybe not, I don't know, da, 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 da. This is dream harvesting. This is dream intending, right? To do it at a massive level, a professional level, a high caliber level. This is when we take our dream harvesting and put it into action plans, right? There's a process that I work on, and we don't have time for that today, but it's called lenses in my world. And that's when we take a dream, this beautiful, detailed, amazing dream, and we harvest it in such a way that it turns into a 3-year goal, a 1-year plan, a 3-month plan, a 1-month plan, a weekly plan, and a daily plan, which is basically your morning routine, your morning meditation, your morning revisit to these dreams. And then the obvious next steps are revealed to actually make it happen. So now this is how we start making thoughts into things, right? So that lenses process. And I'm going to do a whole session on exactly what lenses is, how to dream at this caliber, how to scribe the dream and write it down, and then switchcraft it into that action plan. We're going to do that, right? But I want to unpack some of these ineffective choices, because I really want to understand the other side of the story here today, right? How ineffective choices will never work because it's not resonating with the truth. The truth is we're meant to be in love. When we resist and go against love, that means that we're attached to our suffering. We're trying to make sense of why the world is hard. And then all of a sudden we point at lack, we point at suffering, and then we make choices from that place. And that is always limited. That creates that oscillation, hesitation, resistance, limit, all of that stuckness. right? So there are 8 main ways that we create these ineffective choices, right? And I'm going to take you through them. So, think about this a little bit. Apply yourself to these ineffective choices, because we are all already super familiar with what I'm about to say. We all know them. This is not new information. This is familiar information. So think really of these choices that you have made, and ask which of these choices you're making, whether you're oscillating, stuck, or if you're in momentum and flow towards the future. Or where is your ineffectiveness and where is your effectiveness? And it has nothing to do with you as a person. It has nothing to do with your capability or incapability of making choices, because we're all capable of doing that. It is everything to do with your education and your conditioning and your upbringing and your belief structures that were handed to you, right? And that is just structural. That's just structure. Everything has structure. You always hear me talk about structure, creative structure, building creative structure. So like if your future dream has such beautiful detail, like we talked about, dreaming from this place of love, where that future dream is so much more powerful than your victim's story. That means that structure to the future is pulling you toward it, because that dream is delicious, weighs more, it's more fun. You get the dopamine, you get the endorphins from that future dream, way more significantly than your old tape of this past. So we're going to get into it. Now, these ineffective choices are familiar, right? And they start from the 7 sabotaging identities. And I'm just going to repeat those real quick. I'm not going to go into those in much detail, but the 7 sabotaging identities are the tools that we use to understand our suffering and why life is hard. And we try to prove to ourselves and the world using these tools. And these tools are called, one of them is, I am not worthy. Another one, I'm not good enough. The next one, I'm not significant. The next one, I don't belong. And the next one, I'm not capable. And the next one, I'm not perfect. And the last one is, I don't deserve it. Let me say them again. These are the 7 sabotaging identities. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm not significant. I don't belong. I'm not capable. I'm not perfect. And I'm not deserving. And I'm sure all of you can find somewhere in your own journey where you relate to identifying your own belief structure about yourself, saying, oh, I can't do it, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I don't belong, I'm not perfect. And it stops you in your tracks. Give me a little sign of hands. Can you relate with some of what I'm talking about here? You've all tried on these uncomfortable pair of shoes and then ran a marathon in them. Right, exactly. And we're going to, and I've talked a lot about those, in the human journey. We've talked a lot about the self-sabotaging identities. The good news about the self-sabotaging identities is they are not true. They are a lie. They're just not true, which is why you fail using those tools. So, good news, you're using them correctly. They're uncomfortable on purpose. They suck, and you all know it. Awesome, welcome home. They're not true. So now, let's really get into the 8 ways that we make ineffective choices, right? If we are making choices not in love, but through limitation, the first ineffective choice mode is limitation. We make choices from limitation. We make choices choosing only what seems possible, right? From your limited perspective of your human on this life, in your life, with this much money, this much time, this much know-how, this much stuckness, you make a choice from only that menu. You're seeing a life through a lens of lack. And when we're doing that, our emotions are tense, they're doubtful, they're worrisome, and they're limited. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't have time. I'd love to do that, but ... There's that dream, but now here's the edited down dream. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy, right? There's a limitation. I don't get to because ... Right? So there is that first ineffective choice of looking at the world through limitation. The opposite of limitation is limitlessness. where you choose from an infinite menu of unbelievable possibility or true choices. And your emotions when we're doing this, joyful, excited, thrilling, motivating, unbelievable, inspired. What's going on here? The power of daydreaming, right? All of a sudden we enter into the realm of daydreaming where anything is possible, where we can redream the dream. We can decorate that dream with more amazing detail each time, all orientational choices, primary choices, secondary choices, the decorations, you make it your own. Then what happens with limitlessness is that we ask, oh, what else could there be? Oh, there's more. And we can do it again and do it again and more. Whoa, and it's even better than I could have ever dreamed it. Amazing. And then we allow our mind to wander and wonder and ponder. Then it turns into, instead of yeah, but, it's what if. And then, and that allows, so I can, and then I get to, and then there's more. Limitlessness. So there's that first ineffective choice, limited to limitlessness. So the next one is indirectness. The next ineffective choice is indirectness. So that means that we have a vague intention, a blurry picture. We're in the roundabout. It's a half choice. It is the long way around, and it is distractible, right? It is unclear about the end result, and there's no commitment. Wandering through the fog, stumbling slowly. The emotions here are questionable, loaded with doubt and unanswered questions, not being able to dream the future. There's more weight and attention on process instead of result. You're focused on how to get there with not even knowing where you're going. Who can relate with that? You're trying to get somewhere without knowing where you're going, and then you find yourself fumbling and stumbling around because there's no focus. You're predetermined to stay on the path, but you never arrive anywhere. You keep trying to do the right thing, but where do you go? It's easy to postpone the next thing and put it off till later, maybe if ever. How many of us have tried to tell, like, we wanted to fix something or improve ourselves? We take a class and we kind of get halfway through, and then we kind of fall off the bus, and then we kind of, well, maybe not, maybe that wasn't the right thing for me. And then we pussyfoot around and kick ourselves in the butt and don't finish it. And then we try something else and don't finish it, and try something else and don't finish it, right? Give a little show of hands. Have we been there? We all been there. Yeah. I need to learn more before I can, right? I must do this before I can do that. I must solve a problem before I can have my dream coming true, right? So now the oppositeness, the opposite of indirect is direct, directness. Now this energy is very different. Now there is a clear intention, a goal in mind, a straight path, focused, excited, very clear about the end result, the emotion of the end result, and that makes you goal oriented. You're clear about the feeling of achieving the end result. You're motivated. The emotions are excited, happy, committed, engaging, connected. They're focused on the result way more than the path to get there. When we're focused on the end result, the path reveals itself as opposing to having to create the path. We're open to unconsidered possibility and unbelievable collaboration. Now we trust others and we receive the help of others. When we're in this directness, when we are directed, we are predetermined to achieve our goal and to complete and to arrive at the end result. And therefore, it's easy to continue. It's easy to stay focused. And it's easy to make deadlines and keep them. So there's indirect and direct. Now, the next ineffective choice is the choice of elimination. The choice of elimination, where you eliminate all other possibilities first. So there's only one choice remaining. Now here, The emotions are loaded with lack and surrender and overwhelm and exhaustion because there's all of this work to take out other people's trash. And at the end of the day, you're left with barely nothing. So you're stuck in the last resort or the only option, which is powerless and often feels wounded. There's this away mentality where you focus only on what you do not want. I don't want that, can't do it. I can't do this, I can't have that. And now I'm stuck with the only thing left. I have no other choice. I had no choice. And now this is lonely and alone. Lonely and alone. Now the opposite of elimination is inclusion. Now this is one of my favorites. I love to create and make choices through inclusion because now I'm open to all other possibilities with a clear vision of those results. My emotions are filled with openness and wonder. Tribe and team are now positive and necessary for the good of all. Now this is collaboration, co-creation, working together, being in this circle, holding hands. The responsibility for self, skill, and resources allows for greater collaboration. When we collaborate, I can say, oh my gosh, I have these things and you have those things. And if we put them together, the sum is greater than its parts. The forest is greater than the trees. We come together. There's feelings of includedness and including others. When we do that, it strengthens our greater wisdom of the circle. We're being inclusive, which allows for that shared visioning and shared results. So there's that elimination or inclusion. Now the next ineffective choice is default, making choices by default. Now this is a choice to not make a choice. I can't choose, so that all that is left is reaction. I can't choose, I can't move forward, I'm stuck, I can't go, I can't do it, I can't do anything. Now, these emotions are doubt and they're foggy, they're unclear. There's no commitment. It's like being in limbo and you feel fragile. You could break at any moment. I don't know, I'm not capable. I don't have what I need. Other people and other circumstances always come first before yourself, which means you're giving your power away and you're surrendering, right? You're a victim of the world. Once again, powerless. You refuse to make a choice by not making a choice. You've given it all away. Now, the opposite of that, I love this, is you pay up and you pay for it. You pay up, which means you're engaged, you're involved, you're showing up, you're making every choice. You're employing choice and you're going for it. You're taking total responsibility and you own it. You choose it, you create it, you make it so. When you make mistakes, awesome. There's opportunity in mistake, not failure, opportunity. Now, these emotions are exciting and they're proud and they're open and clear. Clear choices and clear results, ownership, stewardship, leadership, action-oriented and very powerful, especially in our mistakes. Yeah. All right, so the next ineffective choice is the conditional choice, a choice made by conditions, imposing preconditions. Now, these are choices to only make a choice if and when certain limitations are in place first. What does that mean? I have to install a limitation before I will make a choice, right? Compared to our predominant creator in making true choices of love. What? Whoa. This is a choice to only make a choice if and when those limitations are solid. We're putting self in the second chair, in the back seat as a subordinate. You're limited in power, if at all. These emotions are doubt, lack, worry, concern, only if, yeah, but, outer and externals control you. Other people's rules and other people's limitations are the priority. There's no room for magic, and you feel like you're not perfect and you don't get to be. You don't get to be. Conditional choices, other people's rules. Now, unconditional choices, the opposite, limitless possibility. Unconditional choice is the choice to see many options before taking an action. Read the whole menu before you choose. The desserts are in the back. This is engaging, you're dreaming, it's engaging, harvesting the future, it's engaging the details of the future memories. And the emotions here are exciting and wonderful and blissful and joyful about endless opportunities. And you feel powerful and optimistic. There's an inner power, and there is all the room for the magic to happen. I love unconditional choices. Now, the next ineffective choice is making choices through reaction. Now, we've talked about reaction. Are we reacting to the past or creating the future? So now reaction, these are choices designed to overcome conflict. And a reaction choice means that there's a victim to the world, and it's endless and it's tiresome. A choice based in reaction means that your emotions are defensive, they're cautious, and they're careful, and they're based in blame. You did this, and you got your pointy fingers out. There's negative tension, and there's damage control all over the place, and problem management, not just problem solving, but problem management. Now we've hired management to deal with our problems. Whoa, so big, so much. There's backpedaling and undoing. There's avoidance of unwanted conditions and circumstances. Motivation stored in negative situations and the away set mindset, the away mentality. And there is small amounts of success. And that small amount of success kills the motivation because it's counterproductive to that reaction. The relief of the defense stops the action. Right? The defense of the reaction stops the action. We don't really desire the end result. Ooh, that's a hard one. There's the end result, but we're sabotaging it. We don't really want it because we can't allow ourselves to have it. We can't have it because we can't see it. We can't have it because we can't see it. We're so busy reacting to the past, we cannot dream forward. That's what that means. So that means that the creative tension is anchored in the past, which means that your past is anchoring you to not letting your dreams come in true. The creative tension is in the past as opposed to the future. It works both ways. So the opposite, right, is creation, not reaction. We're making choices from creation. Now, these are choices made from the heart. These are the true choices that we're talking about today, where there is no conflict. There's no problem to solve. It is positive tension, creative tension, that future dream being so powerful, it is pulling you toward it. And when that happens, the boulder in the river of desire that's blocking your flow, we can find it, we can work with it, and we can remove it so that the flow runs beautifully, flow states. Now, positive tension, creative tension, these emotions are filled with excitement and possibility and love and joy and bliss and contentment. You're contentment. True choices, engaged, orientational choices, the 4 F's, and the primary choices of your unique, beautiful decorations of beauty. Now, with all of that, you are so motivated to take action toward them. You're clear on the emotions of the end result, and you are opened to the unconsidered possibilities. I love that, open to unconsidered possibilities, or the next amazing aha moment. There's all of a sudden the solution's better than if your ego would have insisted on the other way. The now is a place of power and choice. That's one of my favorites here. Now this next one, ineffective choice based in adverse possession. And the ineffective choice of adverse possession. So what does that mean? That means it's a choice based on hazy metaphysical notions about the nature of the universe. I'm just gonna pretend that it's all feeling good, but not doing anything about it. There's an external focus looking outside yourself for the help, but never doing anything internal. You're looking from signs from the universe to move forward without trusting your own heart. You're waiting for the feel-good ideas without the action. You're more aware of what you do not want while thinking that you're not. You're more aware of what you do not want, but you think you're not doing that, but you're doing that. And these emotions are filled with reaction, hollow hope, short-term solutions, and waiting. I'm gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait some more. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. My dream for tomorrow got pushed back till next week and next year and 10 years from now, and now it's just never gonna happen. And now these superstitions keep you powerless, right? These pretty ideas keep you stuck where you're at. Now the opposite of that is the real true choice, your empowered choices. Now this is when you own the ability of your predominant creator. This is a real true choice, is when you take 100% responsibility for everything you've been, who you are today, and what you're becoming. This internal inspiration is fierce motivation. The emotions are joy and bliss and excitement, clarity, wonder, and wander. Right? Very fun one. Now, the next ineffective choice is false consensus. What is false consensus? This is a choice by finding out what everyone else is willing to do. What is everyone else doing? Other people's happiness without your own voice being heard. Other people's opinions before your own are shared. You don't want to stand out or make waves, and your silence gives your power away. And your emotions are in surrender and in disappointment, inequality, and you hide in the silence, right? So the opposite of that is consensus, true consensus, the power of the circle. True consensus takes time. I don't know if any of you have ever been in a community or an organization or a ring of people where consensus runs the circle, and it's amazing. Consensus slows things down, it takes time. But what consensus does is it guarantees everybody a voice. Right? If decisions are not made until everyone says yes, when someone says no, that means that we're still thinking and harvesting and planning. But when everybody does say yes, get out of the way, magic happens. True consensus. Every voice and opinion is heard and considered. There's a leader in every chair, full access to the wisdom in the room, and it is safe to speak truth to power. Decisions are made when everybody consents. This is a rare thing in our modern society, but it's a delicious opportunity if you ever get to. You slow down ridiculously, but when everyone says yes, you speed up remarkably. When a decision is not consented upon, the sharing and listening are not complete. The opportunity to learn and understand all points of view and their values is attached. So what is not possible in consensus on one point, what is not possible in consensus is on one point of view. Everybody deserves to give their offering of wisdom, and it is needed for the creation of the end result. But what is possible is reaching consensus on the outcome of the circle. Now, I'll talk about consensus in detail because that was one of the things I'm good at, and I love and support it, right? Then we have one more, I think, creative structure orientation. I think actually that's all of them. That's the 8 of those. Any questions on the 8 of those ineffective choices? I know I kind of went through a whole lot real quick because I'm trying to honor our time. Does that make sense? Do you find yourself in those stories?
Corey, oh, Pam has her hand up, sorry.
I think Pam's hand is still up from before.
Oh, okay. So what was the opposite of number 4, default? I was called away and I missed that.
Of default, the opposite of default is pay up and pay for.
Okay.
Like show up, engaged, involved. You're making choices to employ. Yeah, you're taking responsibility and owning it. It's about ownership, stewardship, and leadership.
Okay, thank you.
Action oriented. Yeah. Tasma.
That's a lot to swallow.
Yeah.
Does anybody actually meet all of those? Can you find all of that in one person? Can we all get there? I mean, this sounds like God to me, like it's, the things that that you are and that you could do. I mean, or does sort of once you get the hang of it, it just flows, because, this is deep and it's like lie down on the couch and get therapy deep.
Right.
Seriously, like, because when you
start
when you start breaking all of these down and you pertain them to yourselves, because you have to kind of know what you're all about before you can really do coaching, to some degree. It's a really big deal. Well, can we make it? I mean, because I'm sure there's every one of us, even the successful ones, that have said all of these doubting things about their abilities and, have doubt about everything in their life.
Right.
Maybe some, I don't know, but.
Right. Well, I wanted to give you all the details of these ineffective choices. Because I know that, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make the video and make the replay available. And I can also I can share the spreadsheet as a workbook. But to answer your question, Tasma, most people are not absolutely absolved in every single one of these things or absorbed in every one of these things. However, I think we can all find in our own personal stories where we've all done these things.
Yeah.
And we've all used them to understand our own victim mindset around why is the world hard for me? Why do I feel so terrible? How come I don't get to ...
Yes, but the big thing about going over this is the awareness that we then have within ourselves. Like when we start to feeling poor me kind of thing, we can say, oh no, it's not poor me kind of thing. It's like, what can you do about it? Like, if there's others far worse off, blah, blah, blah,
right.
And so you can develop a different mindset. And I think that the nice thing about what you've just talked about all day is that sorry about that. I guess that was a Freudian slip.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
We talked about it for a long time.
All good.
Is like I said, just being aware and to show what you can be, how you can be, about turning things around, like the choice of elimination, you don't do that. I don't want to do that. Attracts what you don't want and you're left alone.
Right. Well,
and then you turn it around and you say, I want this in my life. And that makes it far more powerful in the decisions that you would make in your life.
Absolutely. So, the structure of this, let's come back to the power of making true choices, which is why I really wanted to swing this pendulum out into the other side, which is not true choices. Ineffective choices are not true choices. And so many of us have spent so much time trying to understand our human experience by making ineffective choices. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And like I said at the very beginning, like getting your intellect on your team as your #1 fan. Like we're going to do some education to your thinking mind to say, hey, can you spot yourself using these tools? Because that's all they are. Choices. These are just tools that we used to try to understand our experience. And then we can say, oh, okay, yeah. And then when we arrive at that wizard's gate, or when we take our power back and we start making effective choices, choices based in love, and then we can feel the emotion of that experience. And that's what I mean, like when we take on predominant creator and we choose it and we start to understand what that really means, and then we have success from creating at that level, and then the pride and the amazing feel-good emotions of joy and gratitude from having achieved at the predominant creator level. And then what do? We create again.
Yeah.
We create bigger and we create more without
Yeah.
all of the victim mindset, the away running into
Yeah.
the away mindset, all of those things.
Yeah. So I guess once you kind of get the hang of it, it'll all just flow. You know, that way of
Right.
thinking, that way of going down that path, because then it will come together then.
Right. And so the first opportunity is that we find these things in ourselves. But now, okay, coach talking to coaches, now that we've had like an overview peek at ineffective choices and effective choices, now you've got a client sitting across from you. And they're saying, I can't, and I don't know, and I would love to have this, but I can't. And it's because here's my reason why. And here's how I'm proving to the world why my life is hard. And here it is. Then you go, that one's a choice based in limitation. Or that one's a choice based in, in non-consensus, or that's a choice based in adverse, or whatever it is. And then you can say, all right, coach mentality, ask the open-ended question to say, what if, what about, hey, what about, hey, and then that self wake up happens.
And that awareness happens for them.
Absolutely, and us. Yeah. Right on.
Okay.
Andrea.
This is a very good talk today. I really like it. It's good.
Awesome. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, Andrea.
This has been fantastic, Corey. You add value with every session, and I really, really appreciate it. So this material is not only fantastic for us, but as you were just pointing out, it gives us another set of tools in our toolkit to help our clients.
Absolutely.
I see this as being aspirational, where we want to be, and a plan for our journey as we seek to achieve that aspiration of being, fully capable of manifesting. That journey might be short for some, it might be longer for others, but I think it provides beautiful guideposts along the way so that we can move from whatever limiting beliefs and ineffective choices we're making to the true choices.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you, is the source of this from your circle way or
No?
Okay.
No, this is really from the science of transformation. Some of it comes from my certification with Magnetic Mind.
Right.
A lot of it comes from, like Joe Dispenza and, Bruce Lipton and some of our heroes. But really, this presentation today came from my partners, Sarah and Laura, who you guys met when they guested on The Human Journey, right? And we created this. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but it comes from so many of our other mentors. This is not our source material. We just put it together in this way. Right.
Well, please convey certainly my gratitude, and I suspect the gratitude of the entire tribe to your partners, and let them know that it was really insightful for us. And for me personally, I have to go and check out Dispenza. His name keeps coming up, and I've never read any of his stuff. So I need to go find this dude and really check him out. Thank you so much.
We need to do a book club meeting on that book right there. Yeah, for sure. So cool.
Yeah. What is the name of his book? Which one would you recommend?
Lilia.
Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Awesome book.
Okay. Okay.
The name said it all. Okay.
Yes, so, it's an amazing read.
Amazing. Look, I'm about to finish.
Yeah, we should do a book club. We should do a book club on that book for sure.
And I just, I have an order from Amazon coming tomorrow. I could have ordered it at the same time. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
Amazon Prime, it'll come in. Doesn't somebody have a book club? Joel started a book club on Fridays.
Oh, good. I don't probably, yeah. So
I'm just saying, if there's book club, you can you actually pick your book and you lead it. So if anybody has a book they're reading.
Right.
Because I was sending him ideas. He's like, no, you pick it and then you lead it in that book club. So that's another option people can do.
All right.
So Lilia, that's something you can do in Joel's group. That would be fantastic. Since
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I had a kind of a plan with Corey that I might present something a topic from this book in here. But I have the sense, Corey, that you had covered all. I mean, you couldn't do. I couldn't say better than what you said. But yes, no,
we'll come up
sure.
with something. We'll come up with
No,
something.
sure, there is. We're gonna come up with something, but yeah, I can go to the other place as well because I love the reading per se, and eh, I think it's very important for us to start listening more and more this type of information
I
Yes.
agree.
and how the information will apply to us, and be humble that
Mhm.
we are just in a really beginning stage of learning. We are just really like so. We are ready. We are ready for this type of learning. That's what I want to say.
Yes.
We are ready.
So,
Absolutely.
so I want to come back. I just want to button up a couple quick thoughts, and then I'll come back to all of us again. And so you guys have heard me talk a lot about structure, and how structure holds everything: ideas, energy, the house that we're living in. Structure moves flow to the path of least resistance. Structure is the banks that hold that river of desire, right? So now, and this flow, this creative structure is the opposite of the self-sabotaging identities, right? So if we're going to talk about the opposite of the self-sabotaging identities into the self-empowered identities, and I'm going to reread them in a new way. I am absolutely worthy. I am good, and I am way more than enough. I am significant, and I matter. I totally belong, and I have a place at the table. I am very capable, more than needed. I am total perfection in my imperfection, period. And I deserve it all because I am made of love, right? Now we've turned those things around. As opposed to defining our victimhood, now we're claiming our predominant creator, right? So the side effects of this creative structure orientation are limitless possibility, directness, the inclusion of all possibilities, the power to make huge choices, unconditional choices, the creative mindset, not reacting, individual preference, and offering your gifts. And all of this feeds your action-based decisions, right? And so in summary of what we've talked about today, the core four orientating choices, the true choices of love, right? We do those first because there is likely resistance to having them now. So when we start to do the work of those first four orientational choices, what does it mean to have a life I love? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, but the old tape's going to play very easily and awesome. Do the work of noticing and notice where your cosmic foundation is out of balance and bring it into balance. Until there is no resistance and you are in the flow with your core four choices, you're still in a problem-solving mindset, which is okay. Nothing wrong with that, but that's just what you're doing. But when you're in that problem-solving mindset, what are you doing? Creating more problems, oscillating, stuck in the loop. When there's nothing to fix, we just create. We just create. And I love that, right? Until there is no resistance and you are in the flow with your core choices, that problem-solving reality controls you. You're in it. So let's review them together. Living that life you love, loving every moment on this journey called life. You're acknowledging that you created it and you can change it. There's no step better than the one right now. The only choice you're powerful is right now, not tomorrow, not yesterday, right now. You can live your life right now. You can love your life right now. You can be excited about your life every day. You can be glad to be alive with every breath you take. Your health and vitality, your creative power towards your health and your energy. You're regaining control of your body. You're healing yourself, healing sicknesses, healing diagnosis. You're also choosing your weight, your body fat, your energy level, your ability to sleep well. You're reconnecting with that power within. Your true nature and purpose. You're living in alignment with your fullest expression. Oh, I just love that. Living in alignment with your fullest expression, the unique gift that only you can give. The big why you are here, the big why of your life. And then that predominant creator of your own life. You're powerful and you're in control. You choose your reactions in a way that you desire. You react beautifully in a positive way. You choose your thoughts, you choose your feelings, and you choose your actions, and you create again. We are here to be the best and the fullest expressions of the unique creations that we are. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do. So with that, I just wanted to put a button or a period on the end. And now I want to just open up the circle and chat and be social, questions, comments, aha moments. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know what you're feeling behind your belly button. I want to know how this touched you. I want to know how you saw yourself in these stories. Now let's play the cosmic witness and pass the feather around. So glad you're all here. Thank you for being here. Joanne.
Here we go. Hi, wow. Philosophy day plus. I just want to read something. I don't know if it relates, but it was relating to me. It all comes down to understanding why we are clinging to our self-concept. If you stop clinging, you will see why the tendency to cling was there. If you let go of your facade and don't try to trade it in for a new one, your thoughts and emotions will become unanchored and begin passing through you. It will be a very scary experience. You will feel panic deep inside, and you will be unable to get your bearings. This is what people feel when something very important outside does not fit their inner model. The facade ceases to work and begins to crumble. When it can no longer protect you, you experience great fear and panic. However, you'll find that if you're willing to face that sense of panic, there is a way to go past it. You can go further back into the consciousness that is experiencing it, and the panic will stop. Then there will be a great peace, like nothing you've ever felt. Mm-hmm. That's the part very few people come to know. It can stop. The noise, the fear, the confusion, the constant changing of these inner energies, it can all stop.
Mm-hmm. Wow, what is that from?
Again, Michael Singer. He's one of my heroes.
Would you put that in the chat for us so we know what that
I
is?
will.
Yeah.
And I can't copy it either.
Right, it's all good. Just
tell
us how to find it. Tell us how to find. We'll work on. I haven't fixed that problem. I thought I did, but apparently I have not fixed that.
No, we can't copy it again.
All right, let's pass the feather. Insights, ahas, stories. Who would like to say something?
Another great session, and I want to thank Debbie for sharing her testimony about the vegan lifestyle. And it's something I've been considering. And recently I was reading The 5 Regrets of the Dying. And in there was a line where Bronnie Ware said that cows moo differently when they know they're going to die. And I just had a very visceral reaction to that maybe I should really stop eating meat indeed. So that is a personal takeaway from this, but the material overall has been fantastic. And there are lots of other takeaways, but that particular one really resonated with me. So this whole session is not only going to help us personally, but it will make us way better coaches, so that we can relate to our clients and how they presented problems, as well as the true root causes of their anguish and their pain. So thank you so much, Corey. Thank you everyone for sharing. And I am going to order that book. So the Amazon man is coming to my house again soon.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You are most welcome. Alana.
Hey, yes, absolutely wonderful material. OMG. To have it put so plainly, like I think there are things that we know in our minds where we've been like, okay, well, I can understand like maybe you're avoiding or you're, coming from a place of lack, but to hear it so clearly and plainly stated, you did an absolutely wonderful job of delivering this information, creating the information. Shout out to your two friends who helped you put it together. Absolutely wonderful. This could literally be an ebook on its own or just a book on its own, side note. And just like you were saying, like the only time you are powerful is right now. Like that really stuck with me. I was like, I need it on a wall. I need it on a wall immediately. Because like, you think to yourself, I don't know, just like like I understand that our past experiences help make us who we are and help build our character now. And, even since we've been in Mind Valley and even before, but like we think a lot about our future and what we want and our goals, right? And you're thinking of this forward gap and this reverse gap. But the reality is that the only time we are truly powerful, that we can truly make a difference is now. And that was just like, so I just wanted to thank you all so much for being here, for adding to this conversation. Thank you so much, Corey, for these wonderful whoa moments, #whoa moments. And yeah, I'm definitely putting it on canvas and putting it up on my wall, like for sure, as that constant reminder.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see a photograph of that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Sweet. Thanks, Alana. Thank you so much. Yeah. Vanessa.
Thank you. This is, it's the philosophy class. It's like a fire hose. I have to rewrite my notes again, type it up, let it sit, marinate, because there was just so much material at once. I'm like, okay, the 4 F's, I got it. And I'm like, okay, we'll just sit on it. No, there's a lot more. And all of this is scratching the surface. But so thank you for putting that together in such a easy way to teach. It's not easy to teach. It's not easy to relay information. And you're a great teacher. So thank you for your gift and sharing that. And then just living in the now, like anytime on Mind Valley and this whole group talking about living in the now, it's like very easy for me to relate doing the van life thing because, it's the now. It's where are we moving now? Where are we driving this thing now? And we might not have a destination every time, and it all figured out, but you figure out as you go and it's the journey and the people you meet along the way and the experiences. And again, the dogs with the icebreaker. I mean, we were walking our dogs by the beach and they didn't want to talk to us. It was the pets. It was like, oh my God, the dogs, I have a pug. Next thing we're talking, turns out this lady is a nurse. I need to hit maybe a whole nurses field because there's nurses that have the skill and they want to travel. They want to do this freedom of movement thing and they have their skill they can use too. And she said, yeah, I'm just working out of this job. I hate my job. I hate this, that, but I want to get in that van one day. I was like, really? This is my ideal client. I'm just sitting here because of the pug. But yeah, so living in the now, when you get into uncomfortable situations and force yourself kind of out of your comfort zone, that's kind of living in the now too. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like we can be like numb or just comfortable, mundane, just going through our routine, sitting in the same chair all the time, like not changing anything in our mindset, in our physical space. But when you're kind of in movement, in motion, like literally bouncing in a van or doing something like it's action, it's taking steps into something, and it is living in the now. So yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, Vanessa, thank you for your offering. Absolutely. Debbie.
Thank you so much, brother, for this beautiful class. And your teams was amazing. I didn't even stress myself writing notes. I'm going to watch the replay in Sutra, take my time, pause it, stop it, because I find when you write notes, then you're trying to remember what you heard and you're not hearing what they're saying. That's not living in the now. So I just need to focus, right? But Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, excellent book. Read that a few years ago. Amazing. I would suggest anybody here read it, and it's all we have is the now. So true. But that's exactly the way you put this material together was masterful, yourself and your team. And it really does show that we can make other choices, and it shows how perfectly aligned everything is. And that's why we are holistic wealth coaches, because people are coming to us about finance, and a lot of the things, you don't really have a money problem, you have a mindset problem, or you have there's something else. Like we talk about health and they're like, how does health have anything to do with my business? whether how you eat, even if you're getting enough sleep, you know, all of these things are aligned. So I love the fact that you actually outlined that, because I thought, you know, this is why we do what we do. So
Right.
you, brother, you know, we love you.
Well, thanks, Debbie. You know, and so many of the way we learn to make choices are habits that were handed down from our parents or grandparents, passed down epigenetically, and we don't even know we're doing it, and it's not serving us. And that's part of the wake up. That's part of why we're doing this. Yeah, Lilia.
Oh, my love. This is just wonderful. No, the great teacher is just a mastermind teacher here. And we as a good students will really want to learn out of all this. I would say that this is coming from the place of love for us. So thank you so much for that. And something I tried to write without losing my focus. So I didn't write everything, but something that I got is all these self-sabotage identities, they suck.
Yeah.
And the good news, they are not true.
They are not true.
So that's what stay with me. And the good news is
Newsflash.
not true.
Newsflash.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate all this information, and really nice to share with such a great people here. Thank you.
Thanks for being here, Lilia. Absolutely. And thanks for your offering. Yeah, very much so. Tasma. You're on mute, my dear.
I really love and appreciate all the things that people have said today, because you know, all of us probably feel the same way at one degree or another. And it is so nice to have that connection with our peers doing that. And it's true, you know, we are so lucky to have you and to be able to be in a position right now to listen to what you have to say right now. And that is in the present. And, you know, to be here, to be able to listen, I believe in the universe comes around and makes things happen when it should happen. And this should happen. And you're doing a wonderful thing, Corey. You're just doing an amazing job. And, you know, we are all so benefiting from what you are doing. And I don't even have words sometimes to describe how lucky I feel to be in the course, to meet the people I've met, to meet you, Richard, all of you. I mean, it's an amazing, amazing place to be right now.
Welcome home, Tasma.
So thank you.
Yeah. Welcome home. Welcome home, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right, who's next? Yeah, go for it.
Hi, Corey. I just want to say thank you. I'm so glad that you're continuing this after we've finished the CLC, because it's so important to keep revisiting these things. Otherwise, you can so easily fall back into the old habits, the old beliefs, the old rules. And what you've done there tonight is really made me aware of how we don't, or how I don't think when I make a choice, and how you're so kind of conditioned, and it's a wake-up call, and that's what it's all about. That's what I love about this whole thing. It's a wake-up call to disrupt everything and make it better, to make us more powerful, make us be able to live our lives and help other people. And but we've got to keep, well, I have to keep focused on that and not forget, not just get distracted back into the oh, you know, the old. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. It's such an inspiration, these groups, this group in particular. You know, it's just the feeling, the energy, the insights, what people are saying. It's absolutely wonderful. It's inspirational. It's motivating. It's what keeps me going. And Corey, you just have a wonderful way of being able to explain difficult, complex concepts very easily, and very very roundedly. Yeah. Don't know what it means, but it sounds good. Anyway, just want to say thank you to everybody, and thank you in particular to you, Corey. Thank you.
My pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. Yeah. You know, there's a reason why I want to make these into the videos, just like what Debbie was saying, is that we can go back through and slow down, pause, and take notes. And then this information becomes available for you on your journey in your practice with your clients, for yourself, however it makes sense. And I give it so freely and so openly because that's how I received it. You know, and so it's that I'm giving back to where I'm taking from in this beautiful way, right? And along those notes, like on Coaching Mastery on the site, that is where these replays are housed. You know, now that CLC is done, I invite you all to participate at a higher level. When you watch the replays, and you know, there's a chat there for every single piece, every video, and go in and make comment, ask questions, and specifically, you're not talking to me. You're talking to the Mind Valley tribe. You're talking to all of us. Anybody who's registered on Coaching Mastery hears from everybody, right? That site is a place for us to continue these conversations in a really big way. And so, but it takes engagement. So I invite you all to participate. Join the discussion circles on Sutra. You'll see there's a place, you click on it, it opens up discussion circle, and participate, you know, and ask your questions or give your offerings. And once again, I'm going to pass it around and say, I invite you all to take that opportunity to come sit here beside me and lead one of these groups with us. You know, we can co-create it together. I can even stand aside and let you do it. But this is not my tribe. This is our tribe. This is Coaching Mastery. It's not my group. It's our group. And let's build a vault of content for all of us to raise the bar, to do the good work that we're here to do. The world needs us gigantically. The world needs what we're here to do gigantically. And the better that we do it with each other first, the better we're going to be when we stand in front of the cold, hard world, who cemented in their victim mentality, who needs us gigantically. And those are my values, and that's what I'm here to do. And I think that's what we're all here to do. So I thank you all for being here. I'm going to go ahead and push, stop the recording. So thanks everyone for being here for the recording.